everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in, I'm checking all of the audio levels, Monster Noire, The Last Dance, Part 5, the finale of this wonderful Monster Noire one-shot that we started back in 2018. If you have been following us since then, thank you so much for joining. Don't worry, though. This will not be the last that you see of these players on this channel. As the showrunner, I really hope that's the case. But today is April 7th, 2022, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us again at patreon.com/indooradventures. And you're probably thinking, Patreon, don't I have to pay for that? No, you don't. It's all free, all being made public facing. It's being hosted through Patreon, so if you do decide to help support the show, help it make it so that way we can pay for things like Zoom and Pretzel and all of the Adobe products that we use, Patreon's a really good outlet for that. But let's say you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on Twitch and YouTube and all of these other wonderful spaces, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this wonderful show even more? Well, guess what, buddy? I got your back, quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and most importantly, we also have face masks. That's right, we got face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds of currently all of our merch are going to Doctors Without Borders. So even though I said you could help support this show, we're helping support a good cause instead. So if you would like to help support Doctors Without Borders, again, you can go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, Satan, who you playing today?
Hi, everyone. For the finale and the final time, I will be playing Lilith, our vampire queen mobster. She's a she, they pronouns, and I use she's a she, her pronouns, and I use she, they pronouns. There we go.
And Danae, who you playing today?
Oh my God, I'm second. This is the only place I'm second. Hi, everybody. I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I'm going to be playing as Dot today. She is a werewolf.
Hi, I'm Jen, and I'll be playing Beltane Hawthorne, and he is a archfey mobster boss next to Lilith, and he goes by he, him, I go by she, her.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him, and tonight, for the last time, I shall be playing as Ezekiel Sullivan, the hunter. At this point, things have changed a little bit since we last saw, but that's it for me, GB.
I'm Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern, and tonight I'll be playing the rest of the universe. What universe, you may say? Well, if you're tuning in today is the end of the world as we know it, maybe? Monster Noire finale. Monster Noire, in case you don't know, is a universe. We're playing a City of Mist system, but the Monster Noire universe is a thing we came up with as an impromptu game again in 2018 as a one-shot, and we've been playing it ever since because we loved it and love these characters. And so tonight we rejoin our heroes in their trip through hell. I don't have a pitchfork. How do I not have a pitchfork?
I'm sure it's tucked away somewhere.
There's gotta be. Anyway,
I took it.
A trident.
Satan's got my pitchfork, which makes all kinds of sense. So our adventurers had been traveling through several layers of hell, you know, Dante's Inferno and all kind of hell. And they crossed the River Styx, and they ended up in a weird demi-plane of satin and silk, where they were tempted with lust they had gone through a weird dinner party. It was had gluttony and or wait, not the dinner party. They had gone through a bizarre ham and pea soup swamp with bloated, disfigured monsters. They had gone through a dinner party full of misers, and where we left off, we shall see. As you guys appear, you wait 1 second. I need the dang rules. Okay, yep, we'll wait for the darn rules because I reorganized my desktop. Talk amongst yourselves. So disorganized.
So I believe last we left off, we were in the Wrath? We were in Wrath, maybe?
Yeah,
and
we had fallen into a fighting ring,
Yes.
and it's surrounded by demons and such.
I remember Zeek opened fire on some spectators.
Mm-hmm.
Lilith was going to attack Dot.
Full wild hunt, yeah.
And I don't remember what Beltane was doing.
Kicking ass, taking names. Not in that order.
As you
Kicking
do.
ass, kicking names.
Yeah, Beltane went full wild hunt.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Dot gave Lilith some puppy dog eyes. And
Because he called out to her or something, and she was like, "Wait a minute, why are you calling out to me like this? Who are you?"
I think you called out to Zeek as well, if memory serves. Because we were saying that it was an interesting thing that Dot would yell for Zeek in this, like, aminal form.
it was Lilith, I think.
Okay.
It was, I mean, like,
been a while.
Somebody called for someone.
I know.
In this
Lilith was
situation.
called for by Dot because that is what stopped her from just killing her.
yeah. She might have called for both of them, actually.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it might have been both.
we can say that yes, it indeed was both. How's that? That'll just
Compromise.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, indeed. Sorry about that. I had reorganized the desktop and things were not where they used to be. Okay. So, yes, and we had finished up with Wrath, correct? I believe you were sinking through the floor.
I think so.
And a bell was ringing, like ding ding, the fight's over, or round 2 or such. And as you
Dot's wrapped up in vines that Beltane summoned.
oh,
So I think we were like just starting the fight.
We were in the thick of
we
it.
were just okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Can I think of it?
Oh my goodness, yes, I should have I slept too long. I should have watched the end of the last one. Okay. So I'm gonna say that's where you start to sink through the floor. You hear the bell ring for part 2, and we're gonna move on from Wrath, because we've got more to do, and we've got to get to a finale tonight. So we're gonna say yes. You wrathful. You were headed for each other. That kind of thing. Wrath had been sated, and the canvas begins to flow like quicksand as you find yourself moving down through this canvas, and you find yourselves falling through a reddened sky, and we see the characters almost like cartoony shaped silhouettes of themselves that are just blackened silhouettes and falling onto this red background, this red sky. And as the figures sail downward, we see what looks like old-timey flames, like there's sets of flames and people are moving them back and forth like an old play, almost like a almost like a shadow puppet show or something. And the figures, as they fall, we see them about to hit the flames, and they all stop. They all are suspended, and the characters turn from these silhouettes into themselves, and they're all suspended by a single, each one of them is suspended by a single spider web. A silken thread holds them above the flames, and they've been stopped. Now, when we see the characters as themselves, we look down and we're seeing actual flames. And then when we go to the side, we see the stage production flames dancing back and forth like a set of yellow and a set of red kind of thing. Let's start with Zeek. Zeek, what's your biggest sin?
My biggest sin. I would say Zeke's biggest sin is
Hydrate check, by the way.
Yeah. For this purpose, coffee will count as hydration. I know it doesn't, but it has water in it. God, his biggest sin that Zeke had. Premarital sex.
Bum, bum, bum. Wish we had
the woman from the like werewolf style woman. Yeah.
Yep.
From that
Okay.
layer.
All right. And so I think that comes to you like in a flashback as this single spider web, bink, stops you dead in space above the flames below, and so that's Zeke's sin. How does he? I mean, how is he? Does he feel judged about that? Does he feel guilty about that?
So,
why is it his biggest sin?
It was his biggest sin specifically because it was a betrayal of those who raised him. Because it wasn't his mom and his dad. Obviously, they got turned into a book and were kind of out of the picture a little bit. Right. But for Zeke, because he was raised by indigenous folk, by First Nations people, I would say that it was he and this woman fell in love, or at least from Zeke's understanding of it, they were young. But it was one of those they are not supposed to participate in this, but from his perspective it was it doesn't matter if we do though. And I think that maybe that interaction of it doesn't matter if we do ended up leading to her getting killed by the hunters. It was one where they couldn't obviously do it in the main lodging area, so they probably had to go off into the woods during whatever happened at the end. Okay, wolves now,
right?
And then that ended up leading to her death. So I think that as far as having guilt about it, that's what he would be feeling guilty about. Not about the sex. The sex was great, but specifically about that resulting in the death of the person that he was affectionate towards.
And you just feel like how to put this? You don't actually hear a voice, but you have the feeling that you have been judged. And Yeah, and we'll hold. You have been judged. Beltane. Now we have seen some of Beltane's sins over time. What is Beltane's biggest sin?
Murder would be his. Murder and wrath.
Murder and wrath. Any specific murder and or wrath?
Probably at the height of his power when he was governing a court in itself. He was demanding a lot of sacrifice and not the nice kind. So
And not the nice kind. All right. And were these humans or other fae that
it
were?
was humans. He did see them at one point as lesser people. He was a very horrible person during that stage of his existence. He was coming off being a primordial. He was at the height of his power. He was leaning into this wrath of spring sort of being.
All right.
He ate so many baby Saltfire.
They were sacrifices at the time.
Hey, you know, I love babies, but I can't eat a whole one. So all right, Beltane. With that, you feel that taut of the line, and you feel, and I want to say, you know, you feel that you have been judged, and you, having been a spirit of wrath and whatnot, you can almost feel the flip side, not condemnation, contempt. Like, wait a minute. Who are you to judge me? Because you're an archfey, and so yes, there is a hint of why f you from your spirit and being. Hey, Dot, what's your biggest sin?
She doesn't honor her parents.
Ooh, okay, all right. That's some Sunday school hardcore hit there. And how have you not honored your parents?
Well, one thing, she won't even talk to her dad. And for another thing, she doesn't listen to anything that her mother told her to do.
And we get a flash of Biggie with his new leg, and your mother sitting worrying about her daughter. How often does Dot talk to her mom? Because we haven't seen Dot's mom here.
She literally has not spoken to her since this adventure has started.
Okay. All right. No phone calls to mom.
Mm-mm.
Ouch. Okay. There's someone in a babushka who's very unhappy at this point. Why don't she write? Okay. So there's no specific sin in the dishonoring. It's just the fact that you don't talk to your dad, and you've obviously recently come into disrespecting your mother's teachings because you have decided that the monsters need protecting.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing, is that she is deliberately disobeying her mother, and she is in it now when it's the opposite of what she wanted.
Okay. Totes disrespect. All right. And again, you get that feeling of you have been judged. As the spider web ting, it pulls you taunt. All of this is happening kind of simultaneously. Like I said, you all the shadow puppets were falling, and then as you strung, you became real, and you could see real flames below you. With all that said, Lilith, what's Lilith's biggest sin? Oh, muted.
We're going by the Ten Commandments. I'm pretty sure she's like broken all of them. So we're not. I can go through each one of them, but I think to her, there's murder, but she's like, well, murder happens.
That wasn't really a sin. He had it coming.
He had it coming. He had it coming. I think to her it would be like corruption, because she feels that she has corrupted a lot of things, both literally and figuratively. Like the character of Hazel, like her decision to turn Hazel, though in panic and thinking, oh, this might work, trying to save her, it did end up corrupting her. The fact that the reason that Hazel and Parker were both involved is because she came to them. The fact that a lot of things have happened to Beltane because he's stuck beside her, so to her it's the corruption of other people through her.
How do you feel about Dot and Zeek? Have you corrupted them?
No, because they came to her.
Okay.
It was different this time.
All right. Zeek, Dot, do you feel that Lilith corrupted you guys in any way?
So much. Oh my god.
This fucking bitch.
No, I mean, like, from Zeke's perspective, it's not really like a corruption thing. Like, he showed up and was like, I want to kill some shit. You're strong. Do you like killing things? And Lilith was like, hand inside of a guy, like, I've already eaten, but like slops off. Seconds though, like their goals aligned a lot more. So I don't think that Zeek was necessarily corrupted. If anything, he was more corrupted by Beltane, just being like, oh, don't worry, I'll summon Baba Yaga and like we'll have tea or some shit. Like that was like, that's Zeke's like line of corruption is more of like exposure to
and
like to that far side. Yeah.
I didn't think so either, but I wanted to check in just for storyline. And Dot's a pretty clean and clear so far, right? Or is there some Lilith corruption going on?
Well, I don't think Dot would blame Lilith, but I also don't think that Dot would be in this situation without her.
Y'all keep looking for me, okay?
Well, Beltane's
that out there.
Now, what part of your not honoring your parents has this group played? Would you have come to that conclusion without this crew? Or do you think
maybe eventually, but certainly not this soon?
Okay, so without any influence, again, this is the universe. I'm not trying to put anything on Lilith. I just wanted but I wanted to make sure and see if it was, part of that as a whole for these characters. Okay, so Lilith, the obviously if we were to open the tally book, it's a massive 15th century biblical chronicle of sin as it flies past, and we see tearing someone's head off. We see your part in the destruction of the vampire court, even though technically they were evil, but
I see sin is very. It depends on your perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The burning of New Orleans, The people that died in that collateral damage of that fire.
I didn't do that.
Were they
No,
really
not at all.
people?
Were they really? Well, no, I'm not talking the vampire court.
Yeah,
I'm talking of the other people.
I know, but from Lilith's perspective, like, were they really people though?
Were they just walking blood sacks? Little bits of dinner floating around. Okay. And as we see the sins of Lilith kind of flash through we get that flashback and that all the bits and bobs there, and that feeling of being judged, all those little spider webs we can hear it, but in the spans of the universe, it is silent. The threads, the spider silk snaps, and the four of you plunge into the now really looking flames as we see you falling into the red and into the all-consuming flames below. Checking on time here. And as we come down, the garments start to burn and the hair gets singed, and then we fall into the red, and we just see them consumed in the fires below. But as you descend into the flames and you feel the heat pushing back up against you, you all suddenly awake in bed, in separate beds, in a room. And as you try to move, you find yourselves shackled to the beds. Lilith, do you have super strength anymore?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Tink.
I wish I did.
You're like, what the hell? And as you're looking around, you see the others. You seem to be in a hospital ward. And then you hear far off screams, and there's these windows, these long windows with bars, and we start seeing lightning flashes and hear thunder in the background. And from other rooms somewhere, we're hearing people yammering and calling out, and obviously like screams, like every time the thunder cracks and we hear that electrical buzz, the screams are pertinent. Beltane, do you still retain like super strength, or do you have to like manifest it through magic?
He's never been a strong person. He's always been one to confront his things through trickery and avoidance. Like, he makes things happen the way it shouldn't happen, but it's all in a line of, I made you do this because I tricked you into it. So it's not so much strength. It's more of, ha, I'm better than you sort of thing.
All right. Then these, again, these what appear to be simple restraints in what you're now assuming is a psycho ward, I managed to hold you there. Zeek, you're mostly just a people, right?
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. So
I'm just a guy.
And Dot, you are wolfiness. You are trapped. You're feeling that trapped feeling. Werewolf. Do you wolf out to burst these restraints? You know you can.
Oh, for sure.
All right. So give me a let's call it a go toe to toe.
I'm going toe to toe with these restraints.
Yep. Oh, wait. Maybe it's a hit it with all you got. Let's go hit it with all you got.
I'm hitting these restraints with all I got.
All I got. There it is.
I'm going to tag bestial form, furious retaliation,
And silver poisoning. And do you have any other negative tags? Like
sensory overload?
Nope.
No?
You're okay. Even with the screams and stuff, you can tell that it's more of a supernatural situation than an actual sensory overload thing. So we'll call it a +1.
All right. Perhaps even protect the pack.
Oh, all right. Well, back up to +2.
All right. I got a 4 on the dice, so that puts me at 6.
Oh, Dot, what your strength has failed. Your wolfiness, you begin to transform, and for whatever reason, your silver poisoning has muted your strength.
This is a bad time.
And as that happens, you're struggling against the restraints, and they somehow bite into you as you transform. So it's like having little tourniquets on your wrists. And that's the moment where the doors at the end of the room, this ward you guys are in, burst open, and these 2 orderlies come in. And if you can imagine, it's like Jason and Michael Myers, not the comedian, the from Halloween movies, are the orderlies. They're not human. They are a personification of not death, inevitability. In inevitability, the inevitability of death. That's probably the best way to put it. They come in with a gurney, and they roll in with this gurney, and Dot, because of your struggles, they lift the entire frame up like the bed itself is like a stretcher, and they lift the bed, the frame part off of the base and put you on the gurney. And guys, they start to take Dot away.
She's yelling for them. I think she's like shifting back and forth. So it's like a mix of her own voice and like a panicked sounding dog.
All right, and one of the wheels on the gurney is got that that flap to it, so it's wobbling and shaking, and we get the view from one of these, unstoppable killers. The view looking down at Dot as she thrashes about and is drugged from the room into out the doorway as the ward doors flap closed.
Yelling threats to these people.
All right. Lilith, would you like to try to get into one of their heads?
I would, yes. I have that ability.
I know. That's why we're calling it out.
Calling it out. I would, let's see. So I have mind reading, so I'll add a +1 to that. 10. So 4 + 5 + 1.
All right. And So, as the DM, I was going to call that out as a convince roll. But what it is as you reach in, there is its own world of violence in there. And you are hit with this feel of overwhelming just violence and rage, and then you realize that it's all encapsulated. These guys are the embodiment of pain and violence, and you're like, there's nothing here to convince. But what it really will do is it will change the game for Dot, as I almost said Danae, as for Dot as she's wheeled out. How many power did you have on that? Like 2?
It was 2, yeah.
Okay. So we may create a story tag for Dot. We can give her like a juice. Give her a +1 going forward.
Juice.
All right. So, okay. So, I'm gonna suggest a story tag and a juice, or you can give her two juices. I have a story tag in mind. That's why I'm suggesting it. Is that okay? Or do you want 2 juice?
Who are
You,
we asking?
Dot,
Me?
Dot.
Oh.
Yes, these are gifts from
I'll
Lilith.
I'll take the story tag, sure.
Okay. Lilith, you as you're being wheeled away, you hear Lilith like yell out, and it pierces through the miasma and the storm and everything else, and in her rage for you find solace. That pack, that yes, she cares, that party mom kind of pulled together.
That's my real mom.
That's my real mom. Yeah. And you feel that love, that pack, that bond. And so going forward, give yourself a tag that is let's call it pack bond, or bond of the pact, something like that.
Okay.
And we follow the camera out as the wheel on the cart and the lights above are flickering in time with the storm and the lightning outside. And they slam through another set of hospital flappy doors into an operating room. A single beam of light comes down in the room, and the outskirts of the room is shadowy, and we can't tell what's there. And there's like the glint of instrumentation or machinery or such. And the light that comes down in the middle of the room is moonlight. It's downright solid moonlight that's coming down that they wheel you into. Dot, tell me about the first time you became a werewolf.
First time she became a werewolf, she dropped her silver locket in the hedge maze and hunted Zeek.
Exactly. Let's go from werewolf Dot point of view. What was your reasoning? Why were you after this prey? What had it done, or why was it important for you to get it?
It was a threat, and she thought she could take him.
And as we're seeing this through bestial Dot's eyes, how to put this. If she had not been shot with silver bullets, how would that have ended? Describe the violence, or how would Beast Dot have handled Zeek?
She would have hunted him through the hedge maze. Maybe giving him little hints to the fact that he was being hunted, and not actually springing until he was on the run. And then once he knew that he was prey, then she would show him that.
And in this other juxtaposed situation, would not that Dot would have, because we would have hoped that we would have been like, okay, Dot, roll what's it called? Take the risk or face danger or something to go, oh, that's my friend. But pure werewolf Dot shredding Zeek.
Mm-hmm.
Have any vision of that, or can I juxtapose on your expound on your behalf?
I think you can expound on my behalf.
All right, yeah, we see the werewolfed out Dot, like, smash Zeek into the ground and lift him up into the light of the moon and snap his spine, and then the splorsh of him falling and the descent of Dot's maw onto Zeek. This extreme bestial violence. Dot, with that in mind, you have been shoved into this moonlight, and these two beings of personified death, of violence, seem to be laughing now that you're in the moonlight and that the transformation begins. And as you're being transformed, they fade back into the dark, and Beast Dot is left alone and quickly snaps out of the chains. And as Beast Dot snaps out of the chains, we go back to the ward. The lightning is still crashing. The lights are still flickering. Dot, the moonlight itself is steady and does not flicker with the storm outside and the what's happening with the rain and stuff. Zeek, your best bud just got pulled out of the room by monsters, thugs, golems, maybe.
Yeah.
So, what do you do?
Zeek is, quite honestly, he's wallowing. He's not in a good place right now. Ever since the lust level where it was like, yes, like, you're the reason that I died, Zeek. And then, like, him coming to terms with he opened fire on a group of innocent bystanders as far as he was concerned. And then having to relive his greatest sin, and then Dot leaving, and very much like how we had talked about, like, like everyone that Lilith goes and like interacts with, it's terrible things have happened. Quite legitimately, Zeek knows that the only reason that Dot is here is because he asked her for help when they were on the train. So he sees Dot get wheeled away and Lilith's like struggling. And I think that Zeek is just like lying there motionless. And like lightning cracks, you see cowboy tears. And he is just like there's a moment where like he's like, I want to say it's like him and Beltane next to each other. And like Lilith is still just like, get me the fuck out of here, god damn it. Like just like trying her best to like call after Dot. And Beltane, you would just hear Zeek, just sort of under his breath, say, everyone thought that the West was full of gold. It's as full of shit as anywhere else.
Beltane turns towards you. Of course it is. But it's our job to find that gold. And he kind of thinks for a moment, and he's like, "Oh right, I can teleport." Ha.
All right. And Belle, you misty step effectively out of.
Yeah, he just kind of sits up and is like, "To be honest, guys, I've been through a lot."
We all have been. Just get me out of here.
As he goes over to Zeek and kind of touches his shoulders. You ready?
And you can tell that, like, Zeek isn't here right now. Like, he is, like, like very much, like, he is feeling the effects of being a regular fucking guy that's gone through, like, 6 layers of hell so far. He's not having a great day.
Beltane just kind of pulls Zeek up, kind of teleporting him onto his shoulders, and kind of fireman carries him over to Lilith, pulls her up and kisses her hand. Honestly, I forget a lot of what I do some days. I just want tea and biscuits and, rose jam most
Put him
days.
down. She's gonna say to him about Zeek.
Put Zeek on the bed.
She's gonna
Face
take Zeek
down
by the
and roll him
lapels
over.
of his cowboy jacket. It's like, you can wallow all you want once we're out of here, but right now we need you on your best form, and this is not your best form.
And he nods and says very quietly again, "I need Dad's hat." And he goes over to the table, and it's his cowboy hat. And he puts it on, and you see him, like, tilt the hat down just a little bit so it has that, like, layer of shadow over his eyes.
Beltane will go over to Zeek and just kiss his cheek and say, "You are very much loved here, darling." And just squish his cheeks gently. "I need you to go fuck up some demons."
When you, like, even before you say that, he looks at you, and there is, like, where there once was wallowing, now that the hat has been tilted, there is just, like the steady, "I'm gonna fuck up some shit" eyes. And he says, "I'm not looking for love, I'm looking for vengeance." And, like, you hear, like, the hammer of one of his, of both of his guns click back.
Sounds exactly
Samurai
what we need.
cowboy.
Yeah. An invisible
Beltane will
wind
go.
picks up, and his, like, duster blows in it a little bit.
Beltane will go over to Lilith and just kind of hug her to him and says, "Do you think he'll figure out love and vengeance is often the same thing?"
Figure it out at some point. We all do. Let's
Hmm.
go.
All right. As you move forward, you get to the ward doors there, and who's first out the doors? Zeek with a vengeance.
Yeah, cowboy hats down. You're ready to fuck up some shit.
All right, so like some saloon doors, you come bursting through,
Kick.
and you're in this, like, long hallway, and again the storm suddenly, like, stops, and the lights in both directions of the hallway are solid on. There are these round little pools of light that seem to go for an eternity in both directions. And in that pregnant pause, that stretched out moment of silence, like, okay, what the hell is this? Where did they go? What, it's just 2 hallways going seemingly forever, right and left, pools of light. There's suddenly a bell, like an alarm bell, like a 1940s ding 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 alarm bell sounds, and all the doors in both directions, you hear bzzz, and they all open at once. and flooding from the doors is a collection of the most psychotic killers in history. All of them in both directions. Some of them are in straitjackets that are like coming apart, and some are like missing an eye, and these are just the nastiest people that have ever lived. Everything from like from everywhere on the planet, all sizes, creeds, ancient Gaulish warriors, I'm trying to think of some of the early like 1920s serial killers, and none of them are coming to mind right now. Anyway,
when was Jack the Ripper active? That was like the 1800s.
Yeah, perfect. Gentleman Jack and some pirates. Blackbeard is there, and not the
tiki.
Yeah, not the cool. Our flag means death. Blackbeard, the real Blackbeard,
the Blackbeard with fuses twisted into his beard, and
so it's a smoking rune of a head and red coals for eyes.
Cut off his head, and he swam 10 times around the boat. Blackbeard.
That Blackbeard, yes. Eric the Red leaping from oar to oar and drenched in the blood of his enemies. Anyway, this hall of psycho killers is now descending upon you guys from both directions with a will of violence. What do you do?
There is suddenly multiple Liliths around them, as she has her clone jutsu.
Okay. Now, what does that look like when you do that? Is it like a blurring, weird, like bloop, 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 or do they just appear?
It's almost like shadow taking form.
Okay.
So like shadows in the whole kind of stretch out and kind of come to her and then form another. Like at first it's just the silhouette version of her, and then it just all the features come down as like shadow, like falls off of her face, and it's just multiples of her.
Is it like pulled silk, or is it more like ink rolling away?
It's almost, it's like mist rolling over a mountain type of situation.
Nice. All right, to reveal the peaks and valleys of Lilith perfection. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so there's multiple Liliths in the hall. Beltane, two tidal waves of psychotic rage pouring towards you. What's Beltane's move here?
I think he kind of adjusts his collar on his sleeve and kind of thinks for a moment. He's like, holes, as he turns to Lilith, right? Yes. As the ground kind of starts to break up underneath of them, starting this cannon cascade effect.
All right, that's your intent. Mm-hmm. We'll see how well Fey magic works here in hell. Zeek?
So Lilith has some clones. Beltane is in the process of making a canyon?
Basically.
Cracking up the floor or something. The floor below you is rumbling.
So Zeek, he's not interested in these killers. He's not interested in self-preservation. He's only interested in one thing currently, and that is getting his friend out of the situation that they were wheeled off into. So before Beltane destroys the ground, Dot had been thrashing around, things like biting into wrists. Possible blood?
Nope. These are like sheepskin padded, these are psycho ward cuffs, not LA.
In hell no.
Yeah, and not in LA, not LA police violent handcuffs.
Okay.
These are,
Gotcha.
but there could be tufts of fur or such. You want to look for tracks or sign of Dot.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing.
I would like to. However, that is playing into my flaw, my weakness.
Yes.
Is that I need is that for divination I need time. So I understand that I will be taking a -1 on that.
This is I think a good opportunity for an investigate roll.
Okay. Sounds good. So investigate. Let me see if I have any skills that might be able to help me out. Super speed. Maybe if I'm like quickly looking before
Before the tidal wave of psychotic killers
just like doing a
erupts.
quick scan.
It's a reach. Tell you what, how about instead of that, we give you your cowboy hat?
Yeah, cowboy hat. Okay.
Yeah,
Cowboy
we
hat.
get that focus again, gunfighter samurai thing, and the hat shadow, and the shadow gives you clarity.
Yeah. Keeps all those really bad flickering lights out of my eyes.
And but I do believe you still have some weakness.
Yeah, overlook details.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so it just evens out.
straight up roll.
Well, what if I were to tell you that I rolled a 3 on this check?
All right. All right.
What?
Yeah. You that then it becomes a move on my part or chance for me to hit you with a tag. I think that we will. All right, I'm going to say this is the tag. I think you're going to be, and we'll explain it. Blinded by love, and not necessarily like heart beating, wolf call love, but you are the love of your friend has blinded you to this situation. So going forward, things to dealing with Dot, we're gonna give you I hate to give -2s, but let's call it a -2.
Okay.
So yeah, anything dealing with Dot at this point is a -2. Yeah, and let's go with Bell next. With hit with all you've got.
Okay.
With your trying to use your magic to, and your intent is to create cracks or something in the floor so that
so they've like fall down, like it's like a path they can walk on, like they can walk on, but the like bad guys fall like beneath.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a coin sorter.
Yeah.
Nice.
But for demons.
I'm
Nice.
sorting the bad guys.
All right.
Okay.
So let's call out your powers you're using on this.
Okay, fairy magic and magical protections.
All right. Any applicable stats or weaknesses or statuses or weaknesses that apply? I can't think of any.
I can't think of anything. I mean, I have my identity as the enforcer of the old laws, but this isn't really it. But no.
All right.
He's not afraid of his doubts on this particular section. No. So,
all right.
Yeah, he doesn't have any of that. So 9.
9 on a 7 to 9. Choose one, and I will put that in the stream chat so that the fine people there. I see you, Big Z and Saucefire and folks. We appreciate your hanging out here, and you will get to see the choices too. On a 9, you get 1.
Okay. I think probably secure a superior position would be most applicable here.
All right. Yep, that is indeed the one. Okay. Yeah, as the floor cracks, these my description of them as a tidal wave is true. They heedlessly, throw themselves at you guys, and as the floor is cracking, they are leaping to it and dragging on the linoleum, trying to snatch at you as they tumble off into darkness. You're like, hey, wait, there's supposed to be like rock and stuff, but it's just like there's nothing there.
And
And
her clones are just kicking them off the edge, just like stepping on their fingers.
perfect. And maybe one does get there, but one of your clones is like, gives them a shove. Let's for effect, let's say one of them we see Lilith shove one, and as he goes over the side, maybe he's let's go with pirates since we've been doing pirates. He's got like a skull tattooed on his face, and he grabs the wrist of Lilith and pulls, and they go tumbling down with all the other psychos into the darkness. And then we suddenly, as the audience, realize it was just a clone.
Yeah, he poofs into smoke again, shadow.
Yeah, as they're falling in with all the crazies. And you're moving along now this path. Beltane, did you go left or did you go right?
I'm just following Zeek. Like,
all right.
Wherever Zeke's going, I'm following him.
All right.
I'm backing up this vengeful boy.
Okay.
Zeke went right.
Okay. So you turned right. All right. You begin moving that direction, and the tidal wave does indeed end, but you realize that the psychos did not stop. They kept coming at you guys, and because you had to create a path, you couldn't exactly cut it off because you would have cut yourselves off. So Zeek, there's a stream of psychos coming along the thin path. Are you gonna try to gun them down, or how are you gonna deal with these psychos who are coming towards you?
I got a hatchet.
All right. Let's go toe to toe then.
Yeah. All right, toe to toe. So I got my hatchet. Then I'm nimble as a fox,
All
which I
right.
feel would help me in like a tight quarters situation.
Yep.
And then I have it's fabled archery, so it's not really for that. So
Yep.
yeah, just my hatchet and then nimble as a fox.
So I'm gonna ask is your blinded by love of your friend, do you believe it's applicable in this situation?
Oh yeah, there's literally like this is full self-sacrifice. Like even if he gets there and he doesn't have legs anymore, like he's still gonna get there.
And in the way I want to describe it story-wise, and you tell me if this is cool, is you're nimble as a fox and you've got your hatchet, your Assassin's Creed hatchet, and you're attacking and you're fighting and you're a blur of speed and movement, but you're so angry that you don't care. You almost want to get hit. And so that's why it's even out.
I was gonna say there's like a group of dudes and he has one melee weapon. And he's not typically a melee fighter. Like it's literally like he's doing his best to do what he can.
Yeah.
But these are like serial murderers who are like infused with hell power. So I'm guessing that like even though like he's cutting into them, they're already dead. They're just looking to like still like stab out kind of thing. Like what's gonna happen? They're gonna go to hell. Oh no! Yeah, they're
I'm already
there.
there.
So I would be okay with getting that neg too.
Okay, so straight up toe to toe roll.
Okay, so toes to toes. That's a 7.
7 to 9. Choose one. Okay. So you are, tumbling them off into the cliffs, into the edge, slamming the butt of the hatchet under one's chin and tipping them over. But then you must choose.
So
There.
I managed to achieve my goal.
All
That's
right.
what I'm looking for, which is literally just get past these fools.
Okay.
As much as he can if he ends up taking damage, or like at the end how like Elden Ring bosses or Dark Souls bosses, there's always like weapons and other shit like in their backs. Or, like Zeek definitely has like some like serial murder weapons that are just in him now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. There's like a scalpel in your leg, and let's say
Just a hook. It's like one of those big like meaty hooks, but it's like in his shoulder.
yeah,
It's in his left shoulder because he's right-handed, so like
right.
he's not useless, but it hurts a significant amount.
It's through the leather, and it's still stuck there. Perfect. I'm not going to inflict a status because you succeeded, so it's
aesthetic.
We'll just go.
Yeah,
we'll go for that. Yeah, because block or counter at best attempts. Okay. Yep. Let's yeah, and so as this last round of them are there and you're fighting them, Beltane, you see the edge of where your magic stops and the path continues on. And we see you guys stepping onto the floor where it's just floor. And as the last of the Lilith clones takes a step onto the solid ground, you look back and it's just linoleum. It's all gone. All the killers and everything. It's just a hallway behind you. Dot, you're standing in this moonlight. You're in beast form.
Can we say that the moonlight is red?
Sure, harvest moon. Yeah, blood moon.
Blood moon.
Blood moon. Where are we at? Okay. So you're in the moonlight, you're full bestial form, and there's just darkness around you. And you hear the mildest, sweetest little and this fluffy, cute lamb comes in out of the darkness.
That's fucking bait. All right. Well, okay. I see where we're going here. I want to say that like there's red light coming down. And when we get back to Dot, we can already hear the sound of tearing flesh. And when we cut to her, she's literally tearing into her own skin, like digging into her shoulder. And like there's little plip plip blood like drops on the floor, and then a clink as you hear a little bit of silver rattle onto the floor as well. And then we hear that bleh of a little lamb.
Let's go with, I think the removing of that self-removal of the bullet, I think needs to be a roll. And how about you think it falls under take a risk when you perform daring, risky, or outright stupid feat? Or do you think it's face danger when you use your abilities to avoid incoming hit, endure harm, or resist a malign influence?
Well, we're what we're going for here is like full control of the bestial side, right?
Yep.
The way that she's able to keep control of herself is through that silver bullet inside her. So I'm removing that.
Okay, to stay in Beast, so you won't have the silver poisoning. So you're doing the story a favor. Perfect. Let's not make a roll on that. I'm going to give that to you, so you can remove that status.
Little lamb.
Yeah, pink. Own sacrificial blood hitting the floor. Pink. Zeke's silver bullet is dislodged and plinked. Little fluff ball enters the scene. What does Beast Dot do? Now you don't have to describe it. We can go to a shadow on the wall.
A fancy straw comes out.
I'm trying to figure out like what this sheep is. I mean, it's Beast Dot, and it's a little lamb. I mean, like you leave a wolf alone with a lamb, what's gonna happen?
All right. So we see the hackles and the snarl and the teeth of where Dot, and we just hear a pounce and the kind of thing, and because I need the scene to focus on you for a bit more. We see Dot stand up and just a maw covered in blood, claws in blood. So Dot, did you want to resist this at all? Now that we've described it, I'm gonna backtrack just a second as that pounce goes. Did you want to resist getting the lamb, or is this just a Beast Dot's going for it?
I think internally Dot would be resisting. If only because she knows that her friends are still out there and need help. But I have the idea that like this moonlight is corrupting.
A malign influence, yes. So I believe that we should face some danger here.
Well, let's decide what I'm gonna tag before I roll.
Yeah, because I think in this case, I think some of your things are flipped. So your werewolf side is actually against you at this point. Yeah, in this
for sure. I just dropped my dice. Oh, there it is. Okay. I thought it went on the floor, but it was next to me instead.
So, what are your werewolf tags?
God, what aren't my werewolf tags? Okay, I got Wolf's Instinct, Thrill of the Hunt, Ancient Blood, Bestial Form, Terrifying, Regeneration, Thick Hide, Protect the Pack, and Furious Retaliation.
All right, so Protect the Pack and Retaliation probably taken off of that. So you're at you're like 7. Okay, so you 7 to the negative. Let's be Dot here.
Okay. What's Dot like? Be Dot here. Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna give you the pack to your positives. So you got 7. You got 1 positive so far.
Okay.
Real quick while you're thinking. Raid!
Oh, hey!
Raid. LB, thank you for the raid.
Raven's Wreck. What's up? All right. So
are we tallying up like all her werewolf tags versus all of her Dot tags?
Kind of. You're at -7. The pack adds 1 to the Dot thing where you're like, I need to resist this. I need to find my friends. I need to not succumb to the bestial violence within. So
all right. Well, if she's gonna call on all of the things that make her Dot, then her 3 remaining tags are Newsprinting, Book of Fables, and Eye for Details.
News printing out the door. Book of Fables definitely in your favor. And what was the last one? Eye for
details.
You go, that's a trap.
Incredible.
This two almost cartoonish, cartoonishly perfect little lamb for you to be devouring. So 3 out of your 7 gives
and then
you...
I got a +1 from Lilith.
Okay. Nice. So you were at neg 4. You are now at neg 3.
Okay.
So face the danger. Avoid the malign influence of the moon shining upon you.
This is incredible. Let's see how it goes. Oof. That's a 6 on the die, so that's a 3.
Oh, you succumb. We now flash back to that scene of where Dot rising, maw and claws covered in blood. You have this status now. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go with a neg 3 status, and call it Friends Be Damned.
Okay.
You are indeed currently violence personified.
Incredible.
You are in your plane of hell. Okay. So let's say you guys, the other 3 are walking down the hall, and you hear this this bleating noise, this and it just stops. This strangled bleating noise ends, and what seemed to be a forever hall, like in a nightmare, it kept stretching. When the bleeding noise occurs, it comes into focus that there's just a big door, and it says shock therapy room above the door. And as you guys, like I said, it seems to come towards you, and as it stops, the bleeding stops, and the door bursts open, and a blood bedrenched Dot steps forward and gives the howl from hell as Dot stands bloodied before you. And I think that's a beautiful place to take a break.
Excellent. So we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. And we're back. Hello, everybody. Yeah, audio levels are good. We're solid. They can hear me. They can hear you. And that's the most important part, because GB, take us away.
As we flash back in, maw, blood, Dot bursts through the door. And I guess you're confronted with the personification of bestial violence. But yet it is your friend. What do the 3 of you do?
I think like many times she's done before with Wolfed Out Dot, Lilith is just going to walk forward and just say, enough, stop, and just use her her suggestive
All right.
lovely suggestive voice to make her stop.
All right,
Let's go. Her on the nose.
Yeah.
Squirt her with some water.
Yeah,
Mom's had enough.
Okay, we'll go for a convince roll.
Yeah.
One. Okay, yeah. This is Lilith's scene. We'll continue. That detail will come later. Okay.
She has hypnotic trance and her suggestive, her I suggest power. So that's 2. But she's also around enemies, so that's a -1 tag.
Okay.
So just the +1.
All right.
Oh god, I don't think. Oh.
Four.
4. I rolled a 2 +1 plus another
Oh,
1.
ooh, okay, all right. Well, all right. So, stop it.
Do it, kill me.
So, Dot, if you would be so kind as to go toe to toe with Lilith for me, please.
Can do.
Lord Pup 720, thank you for the follow.
Thank you. Indeed. Gonna kill my friends just for you.
And you want me to do
I
the thing real
appreciate
quick,
that.
or not
Yeah.
during role play?
Oh, do it. I'm gonna
right.
I need to count up my tags.
Make stuff
Some-
go ding.
Sometimes when I'm on shows, people let me take this maul and hit that guy in the face.
Satisfying.
Thank you. Always appreciate
Thrill of the hunt, bestial form, and furious retaliation.
it. All right.
One.
Yeah. So this technically isn't a go toe to toe. This is a hit him with all you got.
Okay. 5 + 3 is 8.
Okay. And
Get them good or get as many of them plus tier.
perfect.
Sounds like the one.
Yeah, that's great. I just posted it. So okay. Okay. Lilith. Werewolf Dot attacks you. Can you please either face the danger, or I think it's face the danger. Let's
Yeah,
go
face the danger.
that.
Can I add tax to that?
Can you add what?
Can I add tags to that?
Yes, please do.
That's the game, baby.
yeah.
Listen,
I thought you said
I-
attacks. I'm like, well,
Yeah, the vampire
I suppose.
yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I have can't die already dead.
Hmm.
Harm makes me stronger.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, nice.
And I do have leave powerless, so I can like take people's powers away. Would
Hmm.
her attacking me count as me being able to do that as a reaction as well?
I'm gonna let's throw it in there, because that just sounds really cool. Like this
Yeah.
kinetic force is, the pure rage and violence coming at you. We'll see how you turn it about. So
Deal.
plus,
Took
Okay,
this
so-
long, but we finally got the werewolf versus vampire fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. I
even
also
think
have thrill of winning and outsmart competition. I don't know. It's up to you which one you want.
I'm gonna let's not throw those in, because this is
Okay.
like a surprise attack.
Okay.
If it becomes some kind of prolonged fight, then we'll
add those. Okay, so I have 3, correct?
Yep. Dot, what was the tag I just gave you? The big one.
Oh, it was Friends Be Damned.
Friends be damned. Okay. All right. So that's your tag. But okay. Yep. So you were +3 or 4, Lilith?
+3, but then I have enemies abound, so that's +2.
Okay. All right.
Okay. 4 + 3, that's 7, +2, that's 9.
On a 9, you take the status, but with -1 tier. All right. So let's just so you're gonna take a status. It'll be a -1 status, and so it'll be a -1 tag, and it's I can't believe she hit me, or something like that, or dot struck, one or the other. You can call it whatever you want on that.
Dare.
Yeah, you
It's
dare.
funny because that would be what people would expect her to react like, but there's just a big ol' fucking grin on her face.
Right.
She's been
'Cause-
waiting.
Because harm makes you stronger. Is that the
harm
tag?
makes me stronger.
All
And
right.
technically, she also absorbed leaf. She also left got powerless.
Oh, whoops.
So, all right.
She's been waiting to snap.
Yep. So we finally get basically a big wolf claw smack in the face kind of thing from Lilith, and she snaps upright and grin.
Can I have some like narrative like I'd say that like Dot just full on goes in for a bite like that like with like a backhand, like you can kind of infer that like, you know, maybe she's confused or she doesn't know what's going on. No, she tried to eat her like 100%, just like chomp. And then like probably Lilith's arm came up and like Lilith's just smiling like with
There's
like
blood
this.
dripping from them.
Yeah, exactly. Just all like, all right.
I see where this is going. It came down on the arm and it crumpled Lilith back for a second, and then, like I said, the snap up, look in the eyes, and the grin, like, oh, it's on. Okay. Meanwhile, Beltane, Zeek, your friends are fighting.
I think Beltane is pulling out a
I mean, the
pistol.
girls are fighting.
Beltane's pulling out a pistol, and he's like, that's not for me, thanks, though. Puts his pistol away.
Zeke's like, no, let's see where this goes.
Just like lifts the hat up a little bit, eyebrows. And, no, I think
So embarrassing. Yeah.
I think that, I mean, for Zeke, this isn't Dot right now, but it is, and he's gonna try and get in between them.
All right.
No, like push them away.
Oh no.
For once, Zeke's not gonna shoot Dot. I applaud thee in
Look,
hell.
I have
Character development.
Look, I'm blinded by the love of my friend, and Dot has insisted this whole time that the big werewolf is indeed Zeke's friend if he just would stop shooting it. So
I am loving this. As a matter of fact, what's the status on the or what is the number associated with the status of blinded?
2.
We're gonna say for not shooting Dot, we're gonna role play adjust that to -1 now.
Aw, you're being rewarded.
You're being rewarded for good role play.
Zeke will remember this. Maybe alcohol's
That's
pretty
incredible.
strong.
That's incredible.
Okay, so I have a -1 for this. I'm going to try and use my super speed and my nimbleness as a fox to sort of like just slink in between them, because it's like mouth on Lilith arm, and she's like they're real close, so he just wants to like zip in between and like separate if he can. Probably like push, like get Lilith out, but like he wants to put himself in the middle of this.
Those are some mighty chompy jaws. Don't take my arm with you.
Let's again, let's make it.
Arm.
Let's make it a convince
Those
roll.
make clothes.
A convince roll.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm still gonna apply those other things because you're physically throwing yourself in there.
Well, since I had a +2 for my abilities and then a -1 when Dot is involved, that would put me at an 11.
Nice. All right. All right. Okay, for at least change their agenda to include yours, at least for the time being. You managed to break them apart. Beltane had drawn their pistol and then was like, nah, okay, let's see where this goes. Back to Dot.
Yes.
Dot.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Please.
sound so sinister there.
I'm here for it. It's
you
working for
should
me.
You're supposed to be sinister at this point because you're on the violence level of hell, and you are obviously prone to violence. What do you foresee Beast Dot doing? Your bud Zeek has stepped between you, and for a brief moment you're like, who the hell are you, kind of thing. Why, or not who the hell are you, but how dare you? I was about to eat a vampire. This was classic,
That might be enough of a distraction for her to let go of Lilith. And speaking of Lilith, I want to say that you reached out into her mind to try and get to her. I want to say that you probably see something similar to what you saw on those demons earlier, is that it's just pure violence.
Just the ponderance of werewolf pack hunting unto the primal, all the way back in time to the first werewolves.
Yeah, ancient blood, baby. If Dot's still in there, she's you can't reach her.
Not here right now.
Yeah. That's not here right now, Mrs. Taurus.
I think Dot's gonna go at Zeek.
Red rum.
He smells real fresh too. He's got a bunch of cuts and wounds on him. He smells like the weak gazelle.
She's gonna try and swat him aside. And then from there, I think she'll decide who is the more appropriate prey. That's going to be... decide my tags first before I look at my dice. Thrill of the Hunt, Bestial Form, Furious Retaliation. 8 plus 3 is 11.
Oh, hold on. What's your Friends Be Damned?
Friends Be Damned is 3, I believe.
Is it still 3?
It said 3. Yeah, it was 3, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I had thought we had taken one away at one point, but that was something else. Okay, so Friends Be Damned is added into this because you don't care, so you're technically at +6, but you're taking your pack. This is your pack, so that takes 1 away.
Oh,
do you have anything else remaining on the Dot?
As far as
that might
preventing a pact bond from Lilith. So it'd be +3 from my tags, +3 from Friends Be Damned, -2 from pact bond and protect the pack.
So you're at +4 for this.
+4. I got an 8. I'm at 12.
All right. So 10 plus, choose 2. Under hit with all you've got.
Hit with all you've got.
Stop, friends.
I'm gonna gain the upper hand and get a juice. And I'm gonna get him good. So get him good as in
Yep.
I get him. I swat him aside, and then I gain the upper hand. Between the two of them, I think I'll wait until there's a reaction to decide who she's gonna go for next.
Has anyone seen the new Jumanji movie?
That one with
Because
the
there
rock?
is a moment where Dwayne the Rock Johnson bats Kevin Hart away, and I imagine it's that very same like big,
Yep.
tall, beefy. Just no, we need to stop. Swat like.
Yeah, I want to say that you get like swatted across the room, and you slide a little bit, and you come to a stop in front of a pool of blood, and it's like your hunter's instincts tell you it's Dot's blood, and you can see the silver shrapnel littered amongst the puddle.
French kiss, because as soon as it was going to be Zeke's turn and a moment with you, I was going to say we have this focus where Zeke looks through all the craziness and does have an eye for detail and sees the pool of blood with his silver bullet sitting there. That's awesome. That's perfect. And in my head, it was Hulk smashing Thor on the hangar deck of the hover carrier. Whoosh, just gone. So Zeke, bam, you get tossed aside, and you see there this pool of blood with one of your silver bullets in it.
I want to go at her.
And so Lilith, why don't you go? Let's make it a go toe to toe.
Hey. Give toe to toe. So I have the -1 from being struck by Dot. And I have can't die already dead. Car makes me stronger.
Yep.
Outsmart competition, I'm gonna add that. Thrill of winning, I'm also gonna add that.
Right.
And she's gonna try her trance again. And plus another -1 for enemies abound, so that's +4.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And you had you had this other -1.
Yeah,
No,
I already
5.
added that to the
Okay. All right.
to the beginning.
Gotcha. I missed one in there.
I don't math. That's a 4 plus 3 is 7 plus another 3.
No,
Did we
plus
say-
another. 4 plus
yeah, so
3.
10.
Okay, 10. 10
Yeah.
good.
10 good.
Choose 2. So you're moving in, going hand to hand with a werewolf, and paste.
Let's see.
Raid.
She's gonna try and manage to achieve the goal. So I'm gonna use the mind reading and the outsmart competition. So she's gonna be trying to reach doing her like you better fucking stop it now, mom stare.
Right. And you're
You
reaching.
think this hurts? Wait till I get home.
You're reaching into the beastie the outward beast that is the werewolf, and you're reaching down trying to grab a hold of the Dot inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say that you're
As
attacking like from the physical sense and also from the mental
Yeah,
sense.
no, she is, because she'll take. I'm gonna use outsmart competition by. She's gonna like lift up her skirt, and on another garter belt there's a silver dagger. And she's just gonna like, it's full on full fangs, black eyes, and she's going after Dot to get at her. Well, maybe she's turned after hitting Zeke, and she's gonna just full on get on her back and just dive the dagger like on her shoulder.
Yeah.
And try to break it off.
Oh my god.
Right.
Incredible.
So you're achieving your goal and you're getting them good. So you are not blocking or dodging at all. You're
no.
total going for it.
Yeah, she's totally going for it.
All right.
She's not blocking or dodging.
So up your Dot wound there by 1 status, by 1. So it's 2.
Okay.
So yeah, in the exchange, you don't care about getting hit back. You're striking at the physical beast to reach Dot within, and yeah, there's
Physical mental battle going on.
Yeah, I want to say we get this vision of this darkened space, this blood red moonlight, and Dot kind of laying there, kind of half sitting up, like almost like childhood fear, like gripping their knees or whatever in this pit of despair and darkness, surrounded by what is the embodiment of violence. And then we get this stabbing pain where the werewolf is kind of like, what the, oh, you're gonna die now, the beast. But the dagger itself kind of plunges in and makes a little pool of light that blocks out that blood red moon, and there's a little bit of light coming into the scared child in vision of Dot, and you start to get through to Dot as the beast begins to die a little, because Silver Dagger. Dot, you in your physical form's moment of doubt and pain, let's try to gain control, shall we? Overcome the violence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's a face danger. So let's see if you can wrest control of the beast.
All right. Let's see. Facing danger.
Mm-hmm.
I've got regeneration. I've got thick hide. I have protect the pack. I have pact bond.
Is your thick hide part of the beast, part of the werewolf?
I mean, yeah, technically.
I'm gonna take that one back, because this is again that split. This is scared child Dot trying to overcome.
Dagger help? Would that give her like a bonus or anything?
I think that gave her the chance.
Okay.
Do you have a juice? Do you have a juice left, Dot?
Yeah, I do. Duh.
Okay.
I do have juice.
So
I got that juice by being a werewolf.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can. This is kind of survival mode, so I'll give you that one. So we're still back up at 2.
Okay. I mean, silver poisoning is usually a weakness on my end, but
it can be a tag here because we've done a lot of weird flip flopping.
All right. Okay.
And the
so
pact thing, would that count as a plus for you?
That's our.
Oh, that's already plus 2. Okay.
That was one of the ones she put in first.
Okay, so yeah, pact bond, protect the pack, silver poisoning, and juice. That's 4.
All right. Okay, let's do this.
6 plus 2 plus 4 is
Plus
12.
2 is 8, yeah.
All right. So, dagger in vision, inside mental prison violence. Light comes through, reaching in. Lilith, pale white hand reaching to child Dot, grabs hold. The beast's eyes go wide with the dagger strike, and they're Dot's eyes instead of the lupine eyes. And the beast begins to crumple and fall backwards. As the dagger comes out of it, the beast falling backwards turns into Dot. Dot's got a chest wound as the dagger comes out of Dot's chest, and she falls towards the ground. All of you are like, holy shit, Lilith just killed Dot. And as Dot's body hits the linoleum...
Technically, she's falling on Lilith. So it's a dramatic folding of
She
the
falls back into Lilith's arms.
Yeah.
Sure. She crumples into Lilith's arms, and as you kind of go down with her to the floor, as Dot's head touches linoleum, you all fall through the floor. As everything goes black in that moment we fall through the floor, you're like, oh, okay, we're changing again. But then as the camera vision comes up out of it, it's Lilith holding dead Dot on the floor. Wait. We know we changed hells. We know we changed levels. Why is dead Dot still in Lilith's arms? How come there wasn't a dramatic change? And as the camera comes up, Zeek, Dot's dead. How you feeling right now?
One, he got swatted. Two, he got stabbed, I think. I'm not sure if those were real stabs or not along the way.
All right.
Physically, he's not doing well, and just seeing that, like, Dot is dead, Lilith have knife, Dot has chest wound, Zeek is going to just, like, still lying on the ground. Lilith, you just hear a click, and there is a gun, like, leveled in your direction.
Okay, and before anybody says anything, Beltane, Dot's dead. Zeek has now drawn a pistol on Lilith. Lilith's holding the dagger that killed Dot. What is Beltane doing currently? Or better than doing, what is he feeling?
I think it's a complex motion of people are terribly fragile, aren't they? Sort of feeling it's happened before, it's going to happen again. They're just people. But at the same time, he's like, it's a person I knew. And he feels the equivalent of sadness. Something he's always struggled to connect with as a Fae being. He lacks the broader spectrum of human emotion. But as soon as he hears that gun, he kind of maneuvers in front of Lilith and Dot and looks down at Zeek and says, "Not today, my friend."
And Zeek, before you can respond, a very well manicured hand, uncalloused, rather
Smooth.
Smooth, no scars, no nicks, none of that, and the nails are all clean and cut real nice and all that. This hand comes across the top of the pistol and basically puts the pinky between the hammer
and
the hammer and the chamber, and it's Wilford Brimley,
The diabetes guy?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But not that you would know who that is, but that's who we see if we had cast an actor for it. That's who it is. And
Diabetes.
diabetes.
We'll post it in questions for the course.
Yeah.
I'll post a picture of Wilford Brimley.
Okay, all right. I gotta watch our time here. And the pinky, the very soft pinky, goes between the hammer and the chamber, and they say, "Now hold on there, son. They don't want to do anything that would make this situation worse. Besides, we can make everything better." And as you look up at him and his big walrus mustache, you see that he's in a nice suit, and behind him are several other people in like suits and well manicured, and they've got ledgers and books and things. And Wilford says, how about we just make a deal?
I think Beltane's like, fuck you, Will. That's my deal. I think he's genuinely insulted by this.
This is my fucking deal.
All right. The fuck you will. Awesome. So Wilford, you know, he's looking at you, Zeek, and because you're in hell, your feelings are kind of laid bare. If he moves his hand, are you going to shoot Lilith?
It was never about shooting Lilith. It was a legitimately, like, gun up. He was going to tell Lilith to drop her. And then, like, basically, like, use that as a, like, a bargaining tool to separate Lilith from his now deceased friend under the assumption that if that did not happen, bang. However, I feel like when this man has, like, pinky under the gun, being like, let's strike a deal, see?
Yep.
That Zeke, his head is just sort of, like, tilted forward. And I don't know if I'd have to roll for it, but I'd like to still do it anyways. There is a bang. There is a gunshot sound. But it is his second pistol that he, like, shoots through the pocket underneath his arm and, like, basically, like, shoots the well-dressed, well-manicured man.
All right.
Papa
Awesome.
always told him never to trust city folk.
Yeah, I adore that. And we're going to call it a hit it with all you've got. Roll. So let's,
this would
let's
be
add up.
bullshit detector.
We'll allow it.
Okay.
Definitely. That's perfect.
Pair of revolvers.
All right.
Cowboy hat so we can't see where I'm looking.
All right.
Aha! And then super speed to fire.
All right. And then let's blinded by love, right? Is that
just
a
a
1
one.
or a 2?
It's just a
It's a
one.
1. All right. So you're at +3.
Okay. That is good because I rolled a 5, so that boosts me to an 8.
8. All right. Choose one.
Choose one, and that's it with all I got?
Yep.
Okay.
Here it is for chat. Oops.
God, you get them good.
All right. All right.
I feel like it's one of those, like, again, like, Pinky says the thing, Beltane, the fuck you will, and that guy's like, what, you can see me? And, like, using that as a distraction, just boom, and, like, want to get him in, like, the thigh.
All right. Okay, yeah. So Beltane causes the distraction, the second pistol kind of hidden through the duster. Blam! Bullet goes through. Wilford Brimley stumbles back. I'm gonna say you hit him in the guts.
Okay.
And he spits the bullet out, and he looks down at his suit, and he brushing the what's it called, the tweed or the
corduroy?
when you wear, basically the corduroy, when you brush wool out, he kind of does that to his guts, and as he does, the hole disappears, and he looks over at Beltane, and it's like, so we have to negotiate. I take it you're gonna parlay on his behalf.
I think Beltane has the stinkiest eye at this guy. He's gonna say, first off, there's no offerings to me. Second off, what are you gonna negotiate with? He pulls out his pistol, then sets it on the ground. I'm not the shooty guy. Anyways, where are my flowers? Where are my candies? Where are my tributes to myself? As he's backing up towards Dot and reaching down to check if she's actually dead or still alive.
All right.
Liz is holding that wound close as much as she can.
Yeah, Dot appears to be dead.
And he kind of stands back up and kind of flicks his hand away just to get blood off of it and says, "We're not negotiating with you. You are not whom we are here for. Zeek will probably shoot you again. I'm just the pleasant person in between all of this. For now."
For now. Lilith, you're holding the wound, but you know, you're a vampire. You know this is a corpse.
Does it smell like Dot?
It appears to be dead Dot. I mean, you stopped the beast. You reached out. You touched the childlike soul of Dot, and then it was snuffed out. I mean, you're in hell, so these things happen.
Is there... She's been in hell before. She's seen souls in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Would she know where the soul might be?
Oh. Dot, do you think, is there anything in Dot's past that would put her on one of the planes of hell?
I'm only asking if she might be in hell because she died in hell. That's
right.
The only reason.
Right, and that's why I'm asking, because there's a place you'll end up if there's not a specific one of these hells that Dot would be on.
Shoot. I don't think Dot was necessarily religious. So whatever the default is, limbo. She goes to limbo.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's where I was gonna say Dot would end up. And you know currently that you're on I don't know if anybody's been keeping track, but you were on the eighth circle. And limbo was number 1.
Can I then? She's going to lay Dot's body gently down.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to stand up, and even with blood and all, she's just gonna like dust herself off, straighten herself off,
mm-hmm.
and just look to this guy with a walrus mustache and just say, "I'm so terribly sorry. We've been awful guests to the invitation that you sent." And she'll put a hand out to shake his.
Okay.
And while shaking his hand, she'll say, "My name's Lilith. And you'll no longer be the ruler of hell," as she uses absorb powers.
All right. So you start to absorb powers, and this isn't. They don't have. You're like, you expected more of this individual, and they you know their soft hand just shakes yours, like you're expecting hellfire and to see the rage and the fall from the kingdom of heaven, and all you get is a nice soft handshake. I mean, firm but you know, soft and smooth, like never done a real day's work.
Oh, steel powers, that's what it's called. Sorry, my bad.
And they shake your hand and they're like, yes. Well, my name is William Cheatham of Dewey, Cheatham and Howe, which we have a flashback to the office below Dot's detective office. Harker's office. Yeah. Sorry. Harker's office below, from like one of the first scenes 2+ years ago. 4 years ago.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Three.
First
okay.
session was March 21st, 2019.
2000. Okay. So yeah, from way back there, we get this flash of that office. This is obviously one of the lawyers that had that office way back then. Yeah.
I know your
So
name.
well,
You're not who I'm after.
and they straighten their suit and kind of puff up their chest, and their mustache gets even fluffier. Well,
Definitely not who I'm after.
I'm a duly a retained representative of the individual I do believe you're hoping to speak to, but
Yes.
you have to move on from this place.
Right. Bring back my friend and we'll move on.
We're in agreement. Mr. What is Zeke's last name?
Sullivan. Yep.
Sullivan. All right. Mr. Sullivan, would you like to bargain for your friend's continued
I think a
spark?
gun goes off at that point and shoots him in the head. I said no.
Zeek is
Perfect. And Wilford Brimley's the back, a dot appears here and a huge exit wound appears, and they sneeze, and the bullets there, and their heads back together as they come forward, and they're like, oh, mustache flapping.
Zeke is
Tink.
like steadily standing up.
Okay.
And he says, I don't know how many times I got to explain this to you, Pinkerton. I ain't doing business with you.
And
Don't do business with your type.
then the body remains, and you
Okay,
may
bring your boss to us.
And Zeke will look towards Beltane and say, did you got like a brother or sister, some other bullshit like that you can call on to fix this? Isn't that what you do?
Kind of pauses.
Bell, you cannot bring someone here from the outside.
This isn't my domain, Zeke.
No, but you fix this.
If we weren't here.
Bell, would you like to enter a negotiation with Mr. Cheatham?
I think he kind of looks Zeke over, and there's this kind of burning lettering over his hand as his contract is taking hold, because he made a promise in contract to Zeke way back when. And he's kind of grumbling. He looks to Lilith. I'll be fine. I promise. And he turns towards the man he just shot. Let's talk as rational people who negotiate.
Oh, wonderful. Let's do that. And as Beltane Beltane steps forward, and those other lawyer types suddenly slide like a mahogany table up, and these nice office chairs come in out of the dark of the operating room. Yeah, and the nice leather chairs come in, and the two of them sit down. Zeke, Dot's murderess, Lilith, is standing there, and Dot is on the floor. What are you doing?
I think Zeke is like, he has like his hand on his side. Dot probably busted up a few of his ribs. He's been stabbed. He had a hook in him for a while. And he goes over to Lilith, and he's standing there, and like there is like blood coming out of him. And he looks at her and says, is it worth it? We came here for you. So you look me in the eye and you tell me, Is all of this worth it for you?
You muted.
I'm not. For me,
It's about your friend with the weird instrument, right? That's what all this has been about. It was finding my mom and dad, yeah. I found them in a book, and I was gonna make things right with a good doctor.
Ezekiel, I admit I've done a lot in my past, and I fucked over, whether consciously or unconsciously, a bunch of people, including the person I'm after. I did not ask you to be here. I gave you a way out. I asked you. I told you. Neither of you had to come with me. That this was my business to attend to because I knew the dangers. I was prepared to make sacrifices. I did not expect the same out of the two of you. You agreed to come either way. And Dot followed. She followed you. Do not place your guilt on me. I have enough of my own, and I don't need to carry yours as well.
I think at that, Zeke will fall to his knees. Just like Lilith, like still holding like body of Dot. And Zeke will just like look at it.
Point of order.
Yeah.
She dusted herself off. Dot is just on the floor.
Yeah, I think that Zeke will just be like looking at Dot's face. Like as Lilith is saying all of this to him. And he's starting to make a lot like Lilith said, he can't redirect blame on this one. Quite legitimately, this is his doing.
Ooh.
Lilith will walk to sit next to Beltane because she will not be out of this deal because she is the one that killed Dot.
All right, and as you come walking towards the table, one of these other lawyer people pulls another leather chair out and brings it around for you, you know, like very politely sets you down, and or you sit down, and they, you know, bring a chair to you very politely. Hey, Dot. Everything's gray. Why is everything so gray? This is kind of weird. Why am I swimming? Why am I not drowning? I'm thinking I seem to be able to breathe in the water. Wait, am I breathing? I don't think I'm breathing. I don't feel air. Why don't I feel air? Who of your past who has died that might be here in limbo do you swim into amongst the cacophony of bodies that are about you?
Bad Wolf's leg that just like bumps into you and keeps going.
That happens, but you can't talk to a dead leg, so that
Is it Mishka, your ancestral wolf lineage?
Shit. There are two wolves inside you. One is gay. The other is gay. You are gay.
You are gay.
It could be Mishka, or it could be Misha, or it could be Cassandra, who was her mother's ancestor. And last time we played, it was Cassandra who showed up in limbo to berate her and tell her, like, now you're the one who's not listening to prophecies.
I think this sounds like a good. Well, unless you don't want to go back to "I told you so" moment, we can go with someone else.
I want to say that it's probably Cassandra who shows up and then like Dot realizes where she is.
Yeah.
And like Cassandra starts to lay into her, but then we hear like enough and like Misha like mists her away and then comes and stays with Dot.
Okay.
And like I won't play it out, but the conversation that they have essentially amounts to Dot wondering whether or not like it was worth it, whether or not she like she didn't necessarily die doing anything heroic or whatever. And Misha listening and then eventually telling her that she died on her feet. She died as a warrior. And if she had control of herself, she would have like it wasn't her fault, essentially. And I want to say that it's basically Misha like casting her shadow over Dot and like holding back the sun for her the way that she did for Lilith.
Yeah, the it's it's very, you get the feeling of kind of the, it's always about fighting the beast. It's always about trying to control that part of us. In the end, is hell. And so so we get that little snippet of thing, and is Dot kind of like, oh, all right, this is it. This is my is she accepting of this fate? Or does she still have things to do?
I think that that's the crux of her conversation with Misha, is that she felt like she didn't do what she was supposed to, that she didn't she didn't do what she set out to. And Misha essentially says that's okay. Like nothing is expected of any of us. We live, we die. That's all right.
How very perfectly Russian.
Yeah, you die. Yeah. That's all right.
Is hell. All right.
I guess the conversation can progress to like, if I just had more control, it like if I just like if I could have controlled the beast, and then Misha like says, well, that's the problem. Like you're trying to control the beast when the beast isn't something else to control. It's just you.
Awesome. All right. And as that you get that moment of clarity between the two of you, we see a stenographer sitting next to the table, like going along on the little steno machine, and another person with a huge quill writing out a contract and whatnot. And so we're going to go into this negotiation. It's between Beltane and William Cheatham. And I think what I want to do first is I want to make a change the game roll with Lilith. So Lilith, when you use your abilities to give you in this case, your ally an advantage, roll plus power. So okay. How are you helping Beltane in this legal battle?
So one thing that Beltane taught her when they first met was fake contracts.
Okay.
And another thing that she has done all her life and unlife is business contracts of the mortal kind.
Mm-hmm.
And she has combined those to make her empire
Right.
She's the damn fucking vampire queen.
Right.
So she is gonna use her knowledge, not only of actual constructs, but of trickery
Mm-hmm.
and fucking people over.
Fuckery, if you
And
will.
fuckery, if you will. To help Beltane. And she's gonna use company resources,
All right.
outsmart competition,
All
and
right.
thrill of winning.
Awesome.
Now
Awesome.
she still has the one that's dot struck.
Mm.
But she's also going to use mind reading to try and figure out what these fuckers are trying to do.
All right.
So
And then
that's 4.
all right. And then there's nothing over on the weakness side that
I don't think there's no sun.
yep.
No, that she's not overwhelmed at the moment. And
Nope.
is there a multitude of enemies about, or is it just her and these lawyers? And
It's I
Beltane?
mean, there are, but it's one singular purpose enemy.
So
It's not gonna count against
none
you.
of the tags apply to this.
Yep. Perfect. All right. Whoo. Let's see where this goes.
Okay. So it's 4 plus 2 plus 4 is 10.
All right. Woo. Okay. And on a 10 plus, you get 2 juice. And you can also use your juice to choose. All right. Here's your choices here. What? Where's copy? Whoa. Ray, I just saw chat. Raven Rack is bringing it. That's perfect. Beltane, I almost said Jen. Beltane is gonna have +2 in this, and then you get to choose. Oh, you can use your juice to choose these, or you can give or you can give her +2. Scale up, prolong, hide. Yeah. I almost just want to say I'd probably just give her the 2 juice.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Beltane the 2 juice, the +2 basically.
Perfect. All right, Belle. We're gonna call it. It's gonna I think it either is a face danger or a convince. Which do you think it is? Because it's a malign force, obviously, but at the same time, it's kind of talking. Use your abilities to talk. I kind of will let you choose. Do you think it's convince or face danger?
Probably convince, as they're talking in negotiation. This is his element. Like, he's well within this. And as he's kind of reading the contract over, something catches his eyes in the wording, and he kind of quirks an eyebrow, nods a bit, writes something down on his own work, and kind of sits back, and he says, "So we're negotiating for the human, yes?"
Well, obviously, yes. Her life. You put the soul back in the vessel.
He kind of reads it over. And you would agree to the terms of judgment is done by your particular court?
Well, we are already here in hell, so that would be convenient for all parties involved. Yes. And all the other lawyer types, and even the stenographer, are nodding with him.
Yeah, of course. And once I sign this contract, I get Dot back, whole, unscarred, as she was.
As she was.
Werewolf and all.
Oh, indeed, yes.
Not beasted out.
Oh, you're so clever. Put a note.
He Beltane nods
You
a
can
little.
totally tell that's where that was heading. Was that
Yeah.
that she was just gonna pop back up as werewolf Dot.
Yeah.
And you agree to this as a part of this supernatural court at large. Yes, both new and old laws.
And they start checking. Like one of them pulls out like this book of. It's got like vellum and paper, and some of the pages are gold gilded and stuff. And they're like looking through it, and like some butterflies come out of one page and stuff as they're flipping through. And as they're negotiating that through, what is your intent? Because we're pushing time. Otherwise, I would go with this in a way.
Yeah,
So.
he's going to agree to this, but once he signs it, he's going to put it down and say, this contract is void under the current laws. You negotiated for the human, not the werewolf. Werewolf falls under my court. And you did not negotiate with me.
Perfect. All right. So let's roll to see if you get your you catch him in a loophole.
Yep, I found the loophole because werewolves were before the new laws. So they would fall under his jurisdiction to be judged.
Let's add them up. Roll plus power.
All right.
Elizabeth's just sitting there with the biggest smile on her face.
All right.
You better roll well, bitch.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Yeah, +2.
Yeah.
Yep,
So you're already at +2.
I'm the enforcer of the old laws.
All right.
I would say his own divinity would come into this as he protects his own court and watched over the supernatural through the long life he led.
Is that a tag?
Yes.
Or is that under that tag?
No, they're two different tags.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So altogether, that's a 13. 14.
All right. All right. And as you announce you announce that, oh, it's the werewolf, blah blah blah. And as Dot actually starts to not constitute, but the spark of life comes back. We see the grayed out Dot talking to Mishka is like, gets a confused look on her face and then fades away, and we see, is it Misha or Miska? How?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
Misha.
So,
It's Misha now.
Misha. So
There was a K in there.
Mishka also gets a confused look as Dot fades away, and she just says, "Is hell." And
No. Let's say this.
Sure.
She just looks up to the sky and laughs to herself, and she says, "Lilith."
Ah, nice. All right, perfect.
I picked my lawyer as well.
Mhm.
I think Beltane sits back and says, I've been out this much longer than you have, gentlemen.
Well
If
met.
only you were just clever.
Well met. And Wilford Brimley, William Cheatham, tears the contract and throws it over his shoulder, and one of the other lawyers holds out a trash can as it falls in. Dot, you come you come awake. Zeek, I totally glitched giving you a scene there. Are you holding Dot? Are you standing by Dot?
Just like kneeling and like looking at Dot's face, just like that was all he was doing. Like it was like like over in the corner, like hearing lawyer talk already is like his brain's dripping out of his ears with the fact that like all this has happened and Dot was dead. Yeah. And then like I feel like when Dot is like opening eyes looking up, there's just sad cowboy. Like he's like not exactly a well-bathed individual, as well as like got a little too close to the pea soup. And like there's like in the like grime on his face, there are like two clear tracks down of like,
cowboy tears.
of his cowboy tears.
She like
But his eyes are
Gasp.
closed. He doesn't
Yeah.
like.
she gasps back to life, and then looks over at him, and then just sort of like, geez, who died?
And he looks at you, and there is there's a moan of just like, I like, and he's just like he'll like put his arm around your back and just whoa there, easy. Short of it was you.
Right where I got stabbed. Yep.
Yep. That's I'm gonna just let you know right now. That's gonna leave a mark. And in his head, he's just like, I knew it. All I had to do is do what Miss Lilith did and yell at Beltane until the problem went away.
Beltane's shaking this demon sense. Like, you did good. You just have to reorganize the old laws. You have to look at the whole spectrum. It's a bit complicated. We can go over it later.
And as you your handshake comes apart, the whole of that reality starts to kind of stretch away from that handshake, and you one of the last things you hear as that reality begins to fade is
We should
sure
have
you
gotten
know-
a cowboy.
make sure you note that in the log. Search the old laws. This won't happen again, kind of thing. And yes, sir, Mr. Cheatham. And that reality fades out, and you guys find yourself standing. Let's we'll wipe that. You, as we fade in, you see nunchucks being swung badly, and then this guy goes, oh, thank goodness, and he hucks the nunchucks away. He's like, for Christ's sake, it took you guys long enough.
You could just bring us here directly next time.
Really?
Procedures. I was cast down into this role. It really wasn't my gig. I didn't set this all up. Oh, but
Take an elevator next time.
Yeah.
I kind of do have a direct line kind of thing, but that
Mm.
wasn't the way this
you see
worked.
a stripper pole.
It's just that, yeah, there's
Well, ethics.
some people might have said it was a fire pole, but
No.
it's Satan set it up
A
for us.
little
Stripper
too
poles,
greased for
straight
that.
straight to hell. And there's glitter. There's always glitter.
That's how you
All
can
right.
tell. It gets everywhere.
Yeah.
So Chuck's nunchucks and the exasperation. I know you just were dealing with making deals, but
That's
I'm here to,
Make a deal.
I know you guys
want
want
this job.
you guys want to stop the apocalypse thing going on. I want the apocalypse to stop. It's, I mean, we can make this happen. I think we can really make this happen. All I need from you guys is you got to leave the rocket gate open. And close the other two. Shayla, she's a pain in the butt. She's all mysterious and Groth, of course, corruption. If everybody's like some kind of zombie thing or tentacled out beastie mudball, that's no fun. They're already corrupt. I don't get those souls. But my people, how to put this? Where does the devil come from, right? It's this whole pride and envy, which is Raka's gig. And I think I can work with Raka. So if you all can see through to, leave that one little gate open for me, I'll get you out of here and you guys can stop the rest of the world from blah, 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 blah.
Well, that's kind of defeats the purpose of us. For old ham and pea soup for this.
Yeah, it wasn't even salted right.
The demons literally tried to negotiate with me. An avatar of justice.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I again cast down, moved over from senior management and now this.
Question. Are you even happy with your job?
Oh, of course not. Would I rather be by his side, basking in the glory, la 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 la, and you hear a little oh, type thing, a little heavenly melody.
Well, I'm just saying, we can come to an agreement.
Say sorry.
1 second. We'll come to an agreement. Melgate, unfortunately, I'll have to put my foot down on that. But no gate, no veil. And I can take your job and work out a system so you'll end up back on his side.
And of course he has the little evil goatee kind of thing, and he's thinking on it.
He looks like King Arthur, but with the alt universe goatee, so he's
evil. Yeah. Perfect.
My entire system has involved in contracts and business and setting things right. And the right thing is for you to end up back on his side. I can work out a deal for that. It'll take a little bit of time, but we have all the time in the world.
An eternity. And then some.
And I promise you, it'll be fun.
By the way, we've only been around about 2,000 years.
I know.
Beltane kind of snorts at that. I know.
And then there's this little reversal of that, like he gives you an eye, like it's contemptuous because you know that the old powers are dying, and these guys have been in charge now for 2,000 years, and it's kind of like a little thorn in your side, the old and new fighting. Perfect. Okay. He says, all right, let's get through the day and see where we can go from there. And he puts out his hand and shakes on it. And as
your
you're
powers?
yeah, as Sira, yeah, you can let's do this. You can feel the power. Holy crap. It's what's the line from StarCraft? Power overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's testing out that power to see what his what power level is he is. Can she handle it? And if it's not, she's just gonna okay.
Well,
I'll get that in the old-fashioned way. It's fine.
Rock and roll music hasn't been invented yet, so it's not as powerful as one might think.
Yeah.
But sex, drugs, and rock and roll, 80s. Okay. So because we're close on time, yes, you shake hands. You all fade out, and you hear these primal drums and chanting, and there's like you're a little disoriented because you're just came from hell and now you're back on the prime material, and your senses are a little overwhelmed, and big old lack of moon, a completely dark sky but a clear night, and there's just stars everywhere. Just the stars seem so bright, and you find yourself upon the mountain that you had blown up in the very first episode of it. The cliffs of Cloveraft is there. The mountain now askew and junked from where the mines underneath it exploded, and upon that you see these stone pillars, and there are nine of them, and there is a stone slab plinth with a book opened. The blue square is glowing upon the page. It is a copy of the gate glyph that you guys had deciphered earlier. The blue glow is there. You see Radaman, Dr. Radaman, in full black purple starred robe, reading from the book. There is multiple cultists in green, red, and black robes standing about. There is a stone altar. Hold on, sorry. I thought this phone was off. There it is. Stone altar, slab altar there. And as they're chanting, and you guys kind of appear, Radaman smiles and says, "Right on cue. How wonderful. And how very naughty of you to try to trick me." And as Zeek, you appear, you see every other one of these gaps between the plinths. One kind of shimmers like with a star field. It's like just a black, you see that star power. One is like a raging volcano against a sheet of plexiglass. And the third is like a green fog that is again rolling against a sheet of plexiglass that is the veil, the place between worlds, the portals, as it were. And so he says, "You and you, how very naughty." Okay, if Ezekiel, you would just lay down on the plinth so we can have your heart and open things up, that would make this so much easier.
There's just a pause. He's like still like super fucked up. You just hear goosh. Like if that camera's like up where it like up above waist, you hear a bang and then just a little bit of smoke like coming from the bottom. Just shooting this guy. Fuck him.
All right. We're gonna call it hit with all you've got. Oh, okay.
Okay,
right.
So super speed, cowboy hat, pair of revolvers.
All right. Any weaknesses, bonuses, or
This
other
doesn't have to do
status
with
side?
dot, so nope.
All right.
That's 12 on the die, so for a total of 15.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Tier power, take tether, 10 plus, choose 2.
Okay, Choose to.
Bloop, bloop.
This was hit with all I got. Okay. Gonna get him good and control the collateral damage.
Oh, okay. So get him good. Okay, and then control the collateral damage. All right. All right, yeah. So we hear the snap of the pistol. Zeke's magic sidearm, I assume. And we just see the smoke, and then the camera tilts to the second before, and we see Radaman like fly away from the plinth and fall on the ground, just flat like a rag doll. And there's a collective gasp amongst the other robed individuals, and we see like one of the robes, one of the green robes, like tentacles shoot out from under the hood, and we see horns sprout from another one as the red robe falls back to show one of the, like, basically the Raka demon that you guys nearly decapitated earlier, with like a big scar here, across its neck. And other hoods fall away to reveal mostly demonic presence. Zeek, you notice one of the black robes. All of a sudden, those ghoulish hands, those long ghoulish hands, come out, and we hear from Radaman's body. Whoo, that hits hard, as he sits up, and he's like, there's magic in that. Good thing I'm a sorcerer. And he starts to stand up. Lilith, what do you do?
Am I ruler of hell now?
You are not.
God damn it.
But you made a deal, but it's not done. This whole situation has to resolve itself here.
What was his name again?
Radaman. Dr. Radaman.
Amen.
My head was going Ramadan. Oh god, no.
Dr.
Rat-
Rataman.
Rataman.
Dinky man.
Dinky man. Rataman. Okay, that makes sense. Dr. Rataman. See, I have a deal that I need to see through, and you're really just getting in my way. Can I speak to you for a moment?
Yeah, we have all night. And he points points at the sky where the moon is, but it's new moon, so it's just the dark side of the moon, kind of thing.
So step over here. Let's speak in private. She's gonna go to him and she's gonna, well, I've been making deals all night long, and I feel like I should just offer you one, right? And so she's gonna put her hand on his shoulder and use her leave powerless ability, and then kick him towards Zeek so he can shoot him again.
All right.
Well,
he has a bullet in him. I feel like if you take the powers out, whatever's keeping the blood and whatever else in this dude will fail, right?
Zeek, you notice that it never got through his robe. It was the kinetic force that blew him backwards, but magic.
Second shot, darling.
So you, Lilith, before you can, get your paws on him and that kind of thing, you need to somehow convince him it be in his self-interest to get anywhere near a vampire queen.
I will roll.
Yes.
If that's what you want.
So what do you...
I will use, let's see, my suggestive power.
Mm-hmm.
Outsmart competition. Thrill of the win. I still have a status from Dot, right? That's just +2. Or
What
would you
was
say
this?
that's still that?
what-
It's just that she hit me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that was left in hell. So,
Okay, cool. So 3.
yep.
And can I add company resources just because these are my own resources, and also I'm outsourcing to Zeek technically?
No, that's a
Okay,
good stretch. A
that's
very good
fine.
stretch. But
I
plus
have to
3.
try at least.
Oh, you do. I totally agree.
So that's just 3. So that's 4 plus 3. That's 7 plus another 3. That's 10.
10. All right. Convince. Let's see. 10 plus. Change their agenda to include yours, at least the time being. They're feeling like super powerful. The portal's about to open. Oh, what's this vampire going to do? And so, yes, they too full of themselves. Their hubris allows them to let you get close.
They flew too close to the sun.
Exactly.
Sorry, I got really excited for a second.
Mhm.
So yeah, as she goes, it's just a general like hand on shoulder, like let's talk.
Mhm.
And so she's going to turn him around to face Zeek as you see like the magic from him just draining, and she's gonna look to Zeek and say, "Take another shot and see, darling."
Oh, wait. You've got to actually absorb his protection. That was just to get him there.
No,
And then
yes, I'm not trying to steal his power. Just leave him powerless.
yeah. Let's call it a sneak. And we'll just go with that +3.
Okay.
And just roll with
Want me to roll again?
+3. Yeah, this is to kind of get to get the power to drop.
I swear I'm not like changing dice. It's a 4 plus 3 plus 3. That's 10.
All right. Okay. All right. Yep. Yep. So yeah, he Zeke, she turns him around for you.
I think Zeke is just gonna like rush up on this dude with his hatchet. Like if his bullets aren't cutting it, he's gonna cut it somewhere else.
All right.
Like, yeah, okay, your robe stopped it. Your robe's not on your neck. Like he's not even gonna take the precaution at that point.
All right, go toe to toe.
Okay. We're putting our toes together.
So hatchet.
Okay, so
Quick.
hatchet, quick. And then I don't have that anymore, so just those two.
All right, and do you have Star Touched still?
I don't think it was ever removed. No.
All right, so there's -1 away,
Okay,
so you're +2.
That would be 10 plus 2, so 12.
Nice. All right. As you're rushing towards him, you feel the pull of the dark gate, and you feel the connection to him and that gate. And so there you go. Well, you've got it too.
Okay.
So choose 2 on a 10 plus.
Okay, so I managed to achieve my goal. You get them good, giving your opponent a status, you block, dodge, or counter. So I am going to achieve my goal, which is to heckin' stab him.
Right.
And then I will give my opponent a status. Because Zeke is... He doesn't necessarily want... Zeke's going to develop a new sin for the next time he goes to hell. Because he doesn't want to kill this guy. He wants him to suffer.
Okay.
So he's not going to go for the neck. He's going to go for his leg.
Okay.
And I basically want to cripple this dude.
All right. Awesome.
Like, just like cut into like that fatty upper thigh area.
the bone snaps. You feel the bone snap. This leg is you hit the femoral artery. It's a crippling wound at best.
Yeah. No, and Zeke just looks at him, just, where's your magic now, asshole?
Perfect.
Just
And
have
then
a proud smile on her face.
did you choose to block or dodge?
I did not choose to block or dodge, no.
All right.
He's not thinking with his head right now.
Yeah, you get him in the femoral artery. You hear the bone snap. There's a gout of blood, but then the dark. You see the black of the robe comes shooting out in a bolt of darkness laden with stars that throws you onto the altar. Blam, you hit the altar, and you guys, when he hits the altar, all three gates bow, and some darkness leaks out of one, some tentacles come out of the other, and
a couple turkeys come out of the third.
couple. Chaos turkeys. The third flames shoot out, and there's this bestial, it's almost like a red dragon or a T-Rex, but it's got blackened horns, and it roars out of that last one.
You want to jump in and help?
Yeah, I think I'm going wolf, and I'm getting him off of there.
All right. Whew.
Oh.
Oh woo. So you're not silver poisoned anymore, so you can just transform. I'm gonna say take the risk. Let's go with take the risk. This is roll risky or outright stupid feat. You see him. You see him held down with the star power. You see these manifestations of the three primals bursting through the portals. The demons surrounding you are all gonna rush forward. So let's take this risk to try to get him off the table.
All right, I'm gonna go with bestial form, protect the pack, and to keep the demons away as I jump up on there, terrifying.
All right. That's a stretch, but because they're demons, but yes, it counts. It's one of your tags. So
and the last one, which might be a stretch, just in this situation, being able to go toe to toe with these ancient creatures, my bloodline goes back to a time that the primordials walked the earth, ancient blood.
Sure, we can go with that. What do you got in weakness and or status?
Sensory overload.
Yeah, at this point with the gates opening, it's hardcore. So yeah, so the -1, so you're +3.
All right, coming for you. 4 and a 6, that's 13, baby.
All right. You do it somehow. You wolf out. You grab hold of Zeek to pull him from the altar. The magic bonds, the star darkness is holding him there. You somehow, that it's not physical strength that breaks these bonds. It's that friendship, that care, that love, as it were, that allows you to not tear his arms off when you move his physical body from the altar. So yeah,
I think from his perspective, he's lying there, the stars are swirling around. He can hear fucking all hell breaking loose, and then there is Wolf Dot over him, snarling at something that he can't see. And for a moment, it's all I'm gonna get eaten. And then like Wolf Dot just gives him a look like it's gonna be okay. And then she like just pulls him up.
The lupine eyes reach through to soul, that when you look at a dog and you're just like, yep.
Yeah.
So, and you roll away with him. Beltane, Zeek hitting the slab has allowed these tentacles to come out and lash towards you. Lilith, that dragon beast, is attempting to breathe fire at you. What are you guys doing to combat all of this? Or are you ignoring those and doing something else? Or what's the move here?
And Lilith sees fire. She's just like Beltane.
I think he turns. Oh, that's mine. As he reaches out and just kind of wraps it around his hands and redirects it towards the tentacles.
Perfect. Let's go for that. Let's call that face danger.
Facing danger, guys. I'm pretty good at it. Sometimes.
What do you got?
I'm going to use Fire's a Bell. And yeah, fairy magic. So 9.
A 9. Ooh, you take a status, but -1 tier. On a miss, you take the full status. Okay, so it works. You snatch up the fire and you redirect it around and you know like. Yeah, I wouldn't say Belle doesn't do the like kung fu thing. Belle just kind of my own accord snatch and fling. As you fling the fire, one of these tentacles manages to snag you and start dragging you towards the portal. And there's it's like disease and acid and all. Lilith, what are you going to do to save Belle?
Oh shit! I closed my fucking character sheet. But let me see if I can remember. Can she, as Belton goes to redirect the fire, she's gonna try to hit it with all she's got and go towards the tentacles that are going towards Beltane and like kind of like dig her nails into it as it's kind of lashing out, and then just leave powerless again.
Nice. All right. Yeah. That sounds like at least +2. So.
Yeah, she has leave powerless and they're level footing. Why not?
All right.
5 and 4 +2, that's 11.
All right. You rip up into one of these tentacles. It drops Belle. And Belle, you managed to snuff that off. Back to Zeek. Zeek, your heart is pounding. And even though there's roaring and screaming and demons rushing you, you can feel and hear your heart, that the beat of it. And you kind of feel the presence of your mom and dad. And it's almost a calling, almost a join us. Come home, son. Won't you just come home? I need you to face the danger.
Bullshit detector.
Numero uno, bud.
Numero uno. Self-reliant.
I'll give that one to you. Your parents left you long ago. You needed to learn to
Yeah. They might be my parents, but they're not my family.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Oh, dude. It's beautiful.
And that's all he got.
All right. Face the danger.
2 5s on the dice. That brings it to 10. 10 plus 2.
Yep. All right. So for this brief moment, you feel your parents like loving embrace and they want, and you hear that heartbeat of yours and you're like, all I need to do is lay down. If I just laid back down on the table, I will join my mom and dad. We'll be a family together. Hell, I will be the prince of all space. The entire void will be mine. And we flash back to that picture in the mirror you saw of corpse Zeek with the crown and such. And as this hits you and as you go, no, we look over and we see Beltane and Lilith, like, you know, Beltane or Lilith helping Beltane up with a hand. Dot is like basically werewolfed out around you, kind of protecting you from the elements. There's like one or two of the demons kind of on her, like they've got tentacles and are trying to pull her away with their tentacles, and the claws and the horns and all. The demons are trying to pull Dot off of you, and you look at each of these and you go, yeah, this is family. And as you do, the portal with the tentacles coming out of it kind of slams closed, becomes solid. The tentacles that were there are sliced off. They're flopping on the ground, and then they just kind of turn to like mold and moss and bugs and beetles. The beast that's roaring through and spitting flames at Lilith and stuff, that's over over your head, and Belle's kind of holding those flames back, just at their own discretion, like, yeah, fire. And as Lilith's helping him up, that beast's head is chopped off and it bursts into a gout of flame that swirls up into the sky. And Radaman, with his now busted up leg, is standing in front of the portal, and he's pointing a finger at you, and he's berating you in some ancient tongue. And the darkness and shadow that was the void reaches out, and it suddenly seems vindictive, but it grabs Radaman, like the darkness becomes solid and becomes like 100 daggers sticking into him, and drags him off into the darkness, of the void and space as it shuts closed. And the pillars in sequence starting there burst and crack and slide apart and fall to rubble all around you. And silence reigns. The demons themselves all become undone, turning into pillars of flame, into balls of basically mud and bugs and beetles, and whirling up into the darkness and splitting apart like fireflies in space. And then silence. It's just you guys upon the hill. What you feel, I know we're way over.
It's
so
it's
sorry.
the finale.
The
No
finale's
apologies.
fine.
All right. As that happens and the silence descends, we see that the veil seems to, I'm going to say it from our perspective, it comes undone, and it moves away from the hill in all directions. But it's not the veil becoming undone. It's everything beyond the veil disappearing. With the cessation of the primordials, with the closing of the gate for magic, for Shelah, the magic is dying in the world. The magic is disappearing. It's being blocked away. And as it moves away from where you guys are, all the zombies in town shudder a little bit, and then they stretch and feel like they're, why do my bones hurt? I don't feel so good. But they're people again. Little goblin newsies become just children. trolls just become big guy taxi cab drivers and short order cooks. All that was beyond the veil begins to disappear in the world. Beltane, you're not an archfey anymore. What who are you?
I think he looks down on himself, and he's a dark-skinned individual with curly black hair and soft green eyes, freckles across his face, and he kind of turns to Lilith, and he's like, "This is new."
Lilith? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
This is the first form I took when I came into this world.
And we'll continue. Lilith, you have a beating heart in your chest. You don't have fangs. You're muted.
I haven't felt that in century. Wow.
Zeke, you kind of feel like you did before, but
I
no.
hurt everywhere. And now I'm falling significantly faster.
Yeah, you kind of still in Dot's arms. You guess I should have went with Dot first. Dot, let's go with Dot first. Dot, you fur, muscles, everything disappearing, becoming Dot, holding Zeke.
Why don't she just turn into a husky?
If that's the way you want. If
No, that's not where I'm going
That's
for it.
Dimitri.
Yeah, that's
Dimitri.
Dimitri. Yeah.
That would just be really funny. Yeah, no, it just like turns back into Dot, like short, stocky, well muscled, like, Rosie the Riveter type gal.
But Zeke's heavy now.
Yeah, Zeke is heavy, but she's still holding him up.
All right. And Zeke, ow. You're being held by Dot.
That's fine. And he stands up and he looks at the rest of the party. Just, did we win?
Yes, I suppose.
A manner of speaking.
What'd we win exactly?
No gates of anything opening up?
The world falling to corruption.
Cool. That's good. That's good to hear.
Dot bops him on the head. Your life, you numpty.
Okay, I mean, that one was implied, but my bones.
All right. And then in the look of time, or the to move things along, I love these characters. I love these people. Any kind of epilogue kind of thing. Zeke, let's start with you.
Zeke, he did what he set out to do. And I think that the first thing that he would do is, after he heals up, he would ask Dot if there was anywhere she ever wanted to go. And if there was, would she mind someone tagging along?
Aw. I think she wants to see the West Shore.
He says it's not as warm as you think it'll be, and we'll agree.
I think they go to Los Angeles, and she like does her like her actual job there. Like she does print setting and like repairs out there, but on the California shore in the sun.
All right.
And they eventually wind up getting caught up in Hollywood.
I had to teach this asshole named John Wayne how to ride a horse. He was terrible at it.
Perfect. Beltane, Lilith, Anything epilogue wise?
Did my contract with the devil go through?
Ooh, as far as you know, no. There's no magic. There's no. That's all hokey pokey stuff they wrote in a book. But as a teaser trailer, you never know what's in the next book.
Right. So for now, I like to think that when Lilith turned back to a human, like her hair kind of, like her body went through this shock that I think her hair just turned white. So she has full on white hair now.
Yeah.
Still that young 26, 27-year-old face that she had from when she was turned. And honestly, what I think Lilith and Beltane just continue his seamstress shop, his shop.
Well, and Lilith, you do have a financial empire,
Yeah.
and all that. There's just no vampires in it or whatever
Yeah.
anymore.
I think-
Everyone,
Yeah, go ahead.
pretty much everyone, but you guys, just became people and don't really remember the veil and stuff. There may be a few individuals like Jean. Jean probably is like, didn't I just have magic? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I had magic.
Lilith and Beltane call him up. I'm sorry, honey.
Yeah.
But she has this financial empire, so she has a lot to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
So she just asked Beltane, why don't we upgrade your shop?
I think Beltane will nod to that a little and say, we need a recovery center. There's a lot of magical people who may remember. And there's a lot of magic people like me, I'm sure, out in the world who've been cut off from their world. I can't go home ever again. I'm okay with that. But I will never see Ash again. And I'm okay with that. Spring will endure. Our story will live. We cannot die because of those stories. They are memories the world creates. As he kisses her hands gently, we are literally immortal through these stories.
And I think if no one has anything else, I think that's where.
Fade out with just her giving him a kiss, face to black, into the sunset. That the first time she's feeling the sun.
Yeah,
over
the
100
the
years.
sun rising
Yes.
across the coast. You guys
Yeah.
up on the mountain. Perfect. Oh, I love you guys. This is that's a finale. Woo!
We did it!
We did it!
I did it! First,
Yeah,
and
holy
foremost.
shit.
Guys, this is the 35th episode of the one-shot that we scheduled way back in March 21st, 2019. So I would like to say, first and foremost, GB, thank you so much for running this game, making this game up, changing game systems, sticking with us for all of this bullshit. I love having you on this channel. GB, where can we find you? What do you do?
Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern, and you can find me Sunday mornings on Greybeard Tavern on Twitch. As I've been playing through Wilder Myth, and I play with all my fun toys and whatnot as we have adventures. So pull up a drink, pull up a stool, and join us there. Or you can catch me on Tuesday nights or Tuesday afternoons over at Lantern Noirs, where we do happy hour at the Old Timer Tavern. And between us, we got like 70 or 80 years of D&D experience. We talk mostly Dungeons and Dragons. You can check that out on Spotify and all that. Happy hour at the Old Timer Tavern. Check that out. And then maybe coming up in a
2
few
weeks'
Thursdays. All right, 2 weeks time. I'll let you announce that. Other than that, that's it for me. GB.
Hi everyone. My name is Satan. Surprisingly enough, maybe Lilith will end up being Queen of Hell at some point. Maybe when her soul gets down there. But if you'd like to see more of me and what I do, you can follow me on Twitter, Alice Event with 2 P's. I am also an artist. You can find me on TikTok with Alice Event. I'm starting to post there. If you like art, if you like commissioning artists and giving them money, and you like magical items and cool busts of your OC characters and overlays for your streams, check out my Twitter. I have a pinned post about my commissions because I do all that stuff. And you can also find me on Saturdays for the next few weeks over at Val's channel playing Dragon Age. You can find me at Plum Hunters playing D&D. You can find me that's Saturday nights. Sunday mornings you can find me over at the Hype Goblins, where I run my friends through a homebrew D&D game. It's really at the novella disguised as a D&D game. And Wednesdays you can find me over at my friend Oji Toko's channel, where we play through Curse of Strahd. And that's me.
Hey everybody, I'm Janae Keener. You can find me at JanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Janae Keener on Twitter. I've got a pinned tweet there that says all the streams that I'm in, so you can go there and check that out. JanaeKeener.com.
Hi, I'm Jen, and you can find me over at the Hype Goblins channel playing Anthony Silverhorn, the Artificer Barbarian. He is going around finding out who's fucking around in the Feywild, and he's going to solve that problem, maybe, hopefully, in a nice way. And in the future, we are going to start up a new Noire campaign on Saturdays, also over at the Hype Goblins campaign, where I DM. It's going to be fantastic, and I hope to see y'all there. JanaeKeener.com.
And if this is your first time, joining us, you probably know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got a bunch of shows going on. Like GB said, after this Monster Noir game, next week is going to be a little bit of downtime while we gear up, change systems, adjust overlays, that kind of thing, because we are going to be switching from this game to a Call of Cthulhu game based in, I believe, SCP lore. So if you are fans of things like the Infinity IKEA or Room of Meat, perhaps you will join us on that game. We have Greybeard, we got Danae, Media Flare of Pamferdam Rowski fame from our Sunday games is going to be DMing, and then we also have the lovely PB of PB Plays Inside going to be joining us on that game as well. But if this is your first time joining, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to catch up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we do that we've done up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can catch up on the entire rest of this series as well as a bunch of other content. But for now, I would like to say once again, Greybeard, thank you so much for running this game. Danae, Satan, Jen, thank you so much for agreeing to play in this one-shot back in March of 2019, and thank you to everybody who decided to stop by, because we couldn't do shows like this without all y'all. With that, I would like to say again, good night. We're going into our after show, patreon.com/Indoor Adventures. Check it on out. Have a good night. I don't know how to end this.